Hi guys, and welcome to the weekend preview show. I'm Abby, and of course joined by none other than Flex.
Finally not at Arsenal or Spurs ground. Better to be here.
Exactly, we're here at Vicarage Road to preview all the weekend's games, including Watford versus Wolves. Of course we're here at Vicarage Road. Watford face Wolves this weekend, so not really a better place to start, is there?
Yes.
Watford are unbeaten in 12 home games.
People forget that. It's a bit of a fortress, you know.
It is a little bit of a fortress. However, I'm going to hit you with another stat.
Yeah.
Since beating Liverpool 3-0 in February 2020, they have not kept a clean sheet in any of their Premier League matches. So, is it really a fortress?
I would say, obviously, to have that record of not being beaten in 12 games, yes, but obviously they had a difficult end to last season, which, not last season before last, which obviously contributed to them going down. But this game, I think it's quite an evenly matched game, because I know people are saying Wolves are in the ascendancy, which they are. Wolves are struggling to score goals. If I look back to the game we had against Wolves, we were very lucky to come away with a win.
Yeah,
Spoke to Wolves fans before and after the game, and literally they said before we played, we're fine, we just can't score. And that's exactly what the game was like.
Why do you think that is, that they still can't score? Because they've actually played really well, but they've lost each of their last 6 Premier League games.
Yeah, it's not like they haven't had the chances. Sometimes it just won't work. Yeah, it just won't work, which, you know, I think Wolves fans will look at it and say, we'll be fine. They've got Prudence to come back, they've got Pedro Neto to come back, they've got Willy Bolly to come back.
And they kept Traoré as well.
They kept Traoré, they kept Neves. So I think they'll be fine in the long run. Raul Jimenez is trying to work his way back up to what he was before his big injury. So, yeah, I think they'll feel confident. But on the Watford side of things, they've had a decent start to the season.
Yeah.
Difficult game always against Spurs, and they held their own.
Yeah,
you know,
they did.
1-0 was tight. You guys weren't amazing.
No.
Just kind of got it done.
Yeah.
They the game before that against Brighton, I think Watford would say, that was a bad performance. But that win against Villa, and this is going to be their second home game. Fans there, you know, and if they can get the early goal or the first goal,
it's always about the first goal, isn't it?
Especially against a team who hasn't scored a goal yet. So if they get the first goal against Wolves, it could be peak for Wolves.
No, 100%. Even though Wolves are having more shots
100%.
than basically anyone.
So you would expect them to surely score at some point.
Yeah, they're going to break the deadlock. Okay, so you think that Watford are probably going to stay up this year, or?
I do. I've tipped them to stay up. Yeah, I think.
And remember, no Troy Deeney either now.
Yes, Troy Deeney's gone on to pastures new. He's gone on to Birmingham, and that for this club is huge.
Yeah.
Like he is Watford.
Yeah.
You know. Talk about Luther Blissett being the all-time record goal scorer here. Troy Deeney's not far behind. You know, he is Mr. Watford. He's had amazing memories here, 12 years. So they've got a bit of readjusting to do. It's a new look Watford side. It's an exciting Watford side, I think. They're obviously going to have their work cut out staying in the Premier League, but you know, I think the manager's up for going for it, you know, and he's
They do play that kind of attacking side of football as well.
They just go for it.
And that would probably suit Wolves too, because obviously they are very much attacking under Bruno Largo as well now. Any feeling on Wolves? I know we obviously talked about the fact they haven't scored, but you don't have a worry about them staying up, do you?
No, I don't have any worries about them staying up. Like I said, when especially Prudence and Neto, Prudence came on late against Man United, so he's working himself back up to field fitness. Neto was a bigger injury. I think his kneecap was done, which is a big one. Done that against Fulham last season, but I think once those guys are back, and as soon as it's like in football, as soon as one goal happens or
they start coming in,
it starts. Yeah, so I've got no, in terms of their Premier League status.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be. I think it'd take a real disaster for them to be contenders to go down.
Okay, let's do predictions.
I'm gonna go over 1-1.
Okay.
Yeah, I think obviously people look at Wolves and make them slightly favourites, creating chances.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, I think Watford are mid-table, 12th or something like that. Wolves are rock bottom of the league.
Yeah.
Arsenal rock bottom of the league. But Wolves are on no points, no goals as well.
Yeah.
And haven't scored, so it's pretty much the same as having conceded as much as Arsenal.
No, you're right. You're right.
But so I think people are sleeping on Watford in this game, because I think they'll get a goal first, and then Wolves will be like, ooh. Do you know what I mean? So I think 1-1.
I would have gone with a draw as well, but I don't know why I'm feeling 2-2. I don't know where Wolves are getting
2-2?
I don't know where Wolves are getting their goals from, but I'm backing this to also be a draw, and I think that this is the game where Wolves are going to break their deadlock and get firing. Okay, so let's get into Crystal Palace versus Spurs. Crystal Palace are winless in their last 12 Premier League meetings against Spurs. Very good stat to have for Spurs fans. And also winless in their last 11 London derbies. So it's not looking
Palace,
great.
Man.
Not looking great, but they got their first point.
They got their first point,
Yeah.
which I was impressed, because I thought they were going to be sitting ducks against
Brentford.
No, against West Ham.
Oh yeah, West Ham.
Yeah, against West Ham. And Gallagher, two good goals for him. I look at this game, And I'm just thinking of the Patrick Vieira thing, you know, Tottenham are coming there, top of the table, extra little. I know he's not on the pitch anymore and it's not Arsenal, but he's still gonna wanna, you know what I mean? It's a pride thing. Yeah. But Spurs are just annoying because you're just getting by the little 1-0s. It's great for you guys, you know, but getting by 1-0s, not really lighting it up, haven't conceded a goal. Palace home advantage. I see it being exactly what Spurs have been doing. I see like another 1-0 Spurs.
I mean, look, Spurs are off to the best start in their entire history. 3 clean
sheets.
3 clean sheets.
Oh, because of the clean sheets, not just because you got 3 wins.
No, 3 wins and 3 clean sheets. So, you know, we're taking that. And of course, with all the changes that have happened this summer, you know, Nuno coming in, all the things surrounding Harry Kane. I mean, I couldn't really have asked for a better start for Spurs. And of course, we're still top of the league. Yeah,
no, you couldn't. That's what I mean. People were saying Spurs fans getting excited. At the end of the day, if you had gone through what the Spurs fans had gone through with losing your best player or potentially new manager, etc., I get it, and then you start the season 3 wins out of 3. You can't ask for much more from Nuno at all.
Absolutely.
And one of them games with City. So, yeah, I think it's going to be difficult. I think it's going to be really difficult for Palace. Yes, the home fans will get behind them, but I just feel like they won't have enough. I think Spurs' quality will show through, unfortunately. And yeah, but I don't think there'll be many goals in it though.
Well, do you know what? Harry Kane has scored 38 goals in the Premier League London derbies. Jeez. Only second to Thierry Henry, who's on 43. So we assume he will eclipse that.
Yeah, well, he won't, because next season he's going to go to City, so he's going to play in London derbies anymore.
He'll eclipse that before next season. All right, predictions. What's your prediction for this game?
Tottenham jammy 1-0 again.
Oh wait, why did you call it the jammy?
No, because it is.
All right, Tottenham jammy 1-0 as well then, okay.
Because you don't have to go over. You can.
No, do you know
it's
why?
your team. You can say like you think they're going to beat them.
Well, actually, I can't really fault Eric Dyer and Sanchez at this point, you know, and they get a lot of stick. But I'm going to back them in still, you know, carrying on this non-conceding thing, clean sheets. And again, I think it'll be tight. I think going to Palace is still, you know, got that whole home advantage thing. I don't think that's wearing off anytime soon, post-COVID. So I'll also go 1-0.
Okay.
1-0 Spurs. All right, moving on to Arsenal versus Norwich. Now, Arsenal have lost just 2 of the 18 Premier League meetings against Norwich, despite, you know, their start to the season. Not being biased or anything. And Norwich are winless in 8 league games away at Arsenal. So it's not looking too rosy for Norwich so far. It could be Arsenal's first win and goal in the Premier League this campaign. How do you see this one going?
I think Arsenal should be all right. The pressure is on because I think they're in a little bit, not a lose-lose, because obviously they need points in it. So if they win the game, supporters aren't going to be unhappy if they win the game.
Yeah.
But a 1 win against Norwich won't ease the pressure.
No.
It's kind of like if they win convincingly, all right, cool, they'll be like, okay, let's go. If they struggle to win and just get over the line, it's not going to do any good in terms of the morale around Arsenal.
And everything going on with Arteta.
Everything going on with Arteta. Say they scrape it across the line, 88th minute, 1-0. Of course, the supporters would take it, but it doesn't do anything to ease the pressure. Then the difficult game against Burnley. I think Norwich, though,
Norwich haven't won so far, you know.
They haven't. They're struggling as well, and they don't have the players that Arsenal have.
No,
you know?
I think you're right. I think Arsenal will have too much.
Yeah.
But here is an interesting stat. Arsenal have not lost each of their first 4 league games since 1923-24. So
Rolling Daniel
bits of
Come
pressure.
Come on.
Now people will say you're biased.
Yeah, true. No, that's true.
Yeah.
It would have to be. I think if Arteta loses that game, I think it could be curtains. That's how bad the defeat that would be.
See, I've had this feeling that they're going to give it Norwich, Burnley, North London, Derby, and depending on those 3.
Yeah, but to lose against Norwich 4 games, I can't see it. I can't see them losing. But with this Arsenal squad, at the moment, you just don't know. Imagine they get a draw. Even that's going to be horrendous as well for them. They need nothing but a really comfortable win, and even that's not like, oh, great. It's just, okay, cool. Now let's get Burnley. Let's just start getting points on the board. But yeah, I just can't see Norwich being able to cause them enough problems over the course of the whole game and win it. They can frustrate them at points, you know.
Yeah, Norwich have talent.
Exactly, they can. And also what you've got to think about is the longer the game goes at 0-0, the longer Norwich can keep it 0-0 and keep in the game and keep asking some questions of Arsenal, the Emirates is going to let their voices be known. Do you know what I mean?
So, they are very vocal.
Yeah.
All right, prediction for you for this one?
I think Arsenal will be comfortable though, having said what I've said. I think 3-1 Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Arsenal win, but I do think Norwich will get a goal. I think it might be a tight one for Arsenal, but just get it over the line. All right, let's move on to Brentford versus Brighton. It is their first top flight meeting. If you can believe that, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And Brighton have just won one of their last 9 away games versus Brentford. Of course, they must have played each other in the Championship. But Brentford are unbeaten so far in the Premier League. They've got off to a really good start.
I think Brentford are going to win this game.
Do you?
Yeah, I think for them to stay in the league, no disrespect to Brighton, but these are the games that they need to win. These type of home games. That's, to get to that magic 40 number to stay in the Premier League or thereabouts. These are the games. A really good performance overall against, or a really big point, should I say, that they got at Aston Villa. Ivan Toney off the mark as well. A decent point against Palace, and they should have scored in that game.
Yeah.
So they're showing intent, they're showing excitement, they're showing that they're ready to go for it. And I think the home advantage that they're going to have as well, I think Brighton will find it a bit tricky. I think Brentford will get the job done.
And we'll have to see what happens. But Ivan Toney has scored more goals in the top 4 tiers of English football than anyone else. And that's 56. It's a mad stat.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I'm really happy to see he's off the mark as well.
Yeah, he needed that. I mean, he's going to be a big player for Brentford, and even in the games he hadn't scored in, Arsenal he contributed really well. Palace he was bullying people, doing really well again, and obviously got his goal against Villa.
Yeah, absolutely. But Brighton, look, I've said it. You all know that I really like Brighton and the football they play. They've got an average possession of 62%, which is basically what
I said Everton would deal with them, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
You did. But I still think Brighton aren't to be sniffed at. So I still think there's opportunities for Brighton in 100%. That game. But I do agree with you on the home front that it is a massive advantage still.
Yeah. And Brighton don't travel well.
They don't. Yeah. They don't travel well. Prediction?
I'm going to go 2-0 Brentford.
Okay.
Yeah. I like Brentford, and I just got a feeling. I just think their performances have been good. Home support matched up with Brighton's away record, not that great, like you said. I'm going to go 2-0 Brentford. Okay,
I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on this one. All right, so moving on to Leicester versus Manchester City.
Yeah, big game. I like that.
It's actually one of the biggest games of the weekend, if not actually the biggest.
It's not.
It's not the biggest?
No. Manchester United against Newcastle.
Okay, well, we'll come to that shortly. Yeah. This always ends actually quite well for Leicester.
It does. Last season at the Etihad, I think, was it 5-2?
It's almost
Brendan Rodgers give him a good one. Leicester are always capable at home as well. They're fearless. I think what I like about Leicester is their adaptability. Like they're able to contain teams when they need to contain teams. What I like about Leicester is that they're able. Is how adaptable they are.
Yeah.
If they're under pressure, they can camp in. They can hit you on the break. Also, they've got dynamic players who can influence the game going the other way when they can dominate you at times. Jamie Vardy running in behind. Harvey Barnes has got pace. Tillemans, lots of these guys. Madison. So. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. I'm looking forward to it.
I am as well. And actually, Manchester City have faced the fewest shots on target, and the lowest XG tally against anyone this season. I mean, I think that's kind of to be expected with, obviously who they played bar Spurs, of course.
You had to get that one, didn't it?
Get that one in there too.
Yeah, it is, because that's just what City do. Do you know what I mean? And they're going to get into form. I know they didn't get the striker that they wanted. They've got Gabriel Jesus who's doing his thing from the right wing, getting assists. They've got Ferran Torres filling in as a striker, getting goals, albeit it was against a poor Arsenal side, but he's scoring. But we know they didn't have that striker last year either. Yeah. They can put a run together at any moment because of the style of play that they got and the manager they got. So yeah.
Well, it's just they do have a striker, but we'll go with what you said. They don't have a striker.
They don't have the one that they want.
The one that they want, but they do have a striker. I'm never having any of that. However, talking on strikers, Leicester's Jamie Vardy has scored 8 goals in 10 Premier League games against Guardiola's City.
On it, yeah, exactly.
It's a mad stat.
It's a mad stat. He loves scoring against City, and that's because as well. And I think the playing style, because that's what I mean. Everyone knows. City's Achilles heel is getting them on the counter-attack. Yeah. You guys did it perfectly first game of the season. Ollie's done it to Pep in the league almost every time. We've got a great record against him under Ollie in the league. And Jamie Vardy, that suits him to a T. On the shoulders of, say, Stones or Diaz or whoever it may be, and really running in behind and them looking into them half spaces.
All right, well, before I get your predictions, just to let you know, Foden, De Bruyne are both out for Manchester City. And for Leicester, Perez, Fofana, Ryan Bertrand and Vestergaard are all out. There are others as well that may be out as well. There are quite a lot. Predictions for this game?
I think City are going to win 2-1.
Do you?
Yeah, I do though. I just feel they have too much for them on the day. Of course, Leicester can do them, and I hope for a draw, or actually I hope Leicester to win, really. But I just feel City are going to have too much.
Okay.
2-1.
I think this is going to be a draw. I think it'll be low score draw, actually. I think it might be 1-1. I'm going to go with that. I don't actually feel like Leicester would lose that at home. So we'll see what happens. Moving on to Manchester United versus Newcastle, the game that, of course, you're going to want to talk about. They've just lost one of their last 38 home games against Newcastle. That's winning 29 and drawing 6. That's a pretty
It's a big record.
stat.
It's a big record. It's a big record. It's a big record. But like I said, this is the biggest game in the Premier League weekend.
Because of Ronaldo.
100%. And the game's not even on TV. Imagine that in this country.
Really?
Yes, 3 p.m. kickoff.
How have they not changed that?
Couldn't do it in time.
I can't believe they've not changed that.
But yeah, I think Man United should be comfortable. You never know though, because football's a crazy game. Everything's on Ronaldo, everything's on the homecoming. Ronaldo part 2, you're expecting 3-4-0.
You're so buzzing still, look at
So,
your face.
of course I am. Sometimes it don't go like that though. I'm not predicting that, but I'm aware that this is football and it doesn't always go like that. But Newcastle, they struggle. Look, they've got threats in St. Maximum, Wilson, obviously, getting down in the channels, and they can hurt you. I think we should be comfortable. And then Ronaldo lift is going to give Old Trafford. Old Trafford is going to be so loud. It's going to be unbelievable.
It is a little bit bleak for Newcastle, though. However, I mean, they're just not firing at all under Steve Bruce. You know, they're just not looking good.
But they can score. It's weird because they've been in winning positions against West Ham. They were leading twice, couldn't hold on to it, lose by 2 goals.
Is it a confidence?
Southampton.
Is it a confidence thing, though? You know what it is like when you're on top, and then of course the other team score a goal and your heads go down, especially when you're a bit lacking the confidence.
Yeah, I think you've got to say confidence got to play a part because they, like you said, they can't go over the line. But it's not like looking really bleak where they can't score, they're not creating. They are. It's just defensively.
Absolutely, and they're also unbeaten. United are also unbeaten this season so far, whereas Newcastle are winless. And they've also conceded the most penalties so far this season, which is 3 for Newcastle.
Ronaldo penalty on his second day because Bruno's not allowed to.
I've got an even better stat for you. Ronaldo has scored 48 hat-tricks in all competitions in his club career.
It's madness.
The first came against
Newcastle. Was it against Newcastle?
It was against Newcastle.
Wow, there you go. So.
I don't think we can say he's going to get a hat-trick yet.
Why not? Nah, I'm gonna go 3-1 Man United.
3-1 Man United.
Do I do the whole Ronaldo's gonna get a hat trick? No, I'm not gonna go down that road.
Okay. No, I think
Ronaldo will score.
Ronaldo will score most likely.
Yeah.
It's just written, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4-0 United. I don't think Newcastle will get a goal.
4-0.
I don't. Also expect to see Varane in there as well. So
100%.
New look Manchester United. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Chelsea have lost just one of their last 16 home games against Aston Villa. That's a really good stat as well, considering how strong Aston Villa are.
Tough ask for Aston Villa. This.
It is.
They're finding their feet. Post Jack Grealish, do you know what I mean? I like their squad now. It's more balanced. I think we were talking about this before, saying about, now he's gone, have they got a better squad?
They did beat them. The last day of the season, they beat them 2-1.
They did. This is a different level of Chelsea at the moment. Lukaku in there as well. I feel like they will have too much for Villa on the day as well, and I think they will win 2-0. I think Thomas Tuchel's got them confident. That draw against Liverpool just before the international break had Liverpool fans crying. Saying that Chelsea are negative, Chelsea are this. They've just done a job on them. It's as simple as that.
Of course.
And with 10 men.
And they've got to go do a job, and that's it. And if you get a point at Anfield, most people will be happy with that. Lukaku has scored in each of his last 5 Premier League appearances against Aston Villa, so that bodes well for Chelsea as well. And Tuchel's, since his first game in charge, no one has taken more points other than Manchester City. So they are on the way up. They really are.
Yeah.
But in contrast for Aston Villa, Ings has been involved in 8 goals in his last Premier League games, 6 goals, 2 assists. So they do have problems.
They can cause them problems. I feel like Villa's team is just building up to knitting in those that new look Villa.
Yeah.
Because really, if you say Ings and Watkins up front, Traore on one side, Leon Bailey on the other side, McGinn in midfield with Louis, that can hurt you.
About them, they really do.
Mings and Tuanzebe or Horse at the back, Courtney Horse. So that and Target and Cash. So that. They can hurt you. They're a team that can hurt you, but I feel like on this occasion against a really strong Chelsea side, a really confident Chelsea side at the bridge, can't see it.
No, okay. So you said 2-0, right?
Yeah.
You said 2-0. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with Chelsea 2-1. I think that Villa will get a goal. I think they're pretty good in front of goal. And Leeds versus Liverpool. Now this is a tasty game,
man.
Really tasty. There's a bit of bite about this, isn't there?
I think obviously the fans play a big part, but this is at Ellen Road.
Yeah.
The first game of last season, Leeds gave them a right game, 4-3. Remember that? And then the second game, I think it was 1-1, and Leeds had a few chances in that as well, and they scored to get the equaliser. So they've proved they can mix it with Liverpool.
Yeah.
The problem with Leeds is, and then, well, actually on a positive for Leeds, the fans.
Yeah,
the fans. It's at Ellen Road.
It's a massive boost,
It's at Ellen Road, but I just worry for them only in this game because when I put my realistic hat on, they just play so open. They only have one way of playing, which is refreshing, which is nice on the eye.
But
against
also,
the Liverpool
it's
side,
to their detriment at the same time.
it could be to their detriment.
Yeah.
However, that's not stopping me from predicting that Leeds are going to win this game.
Wow.
Because of Daniel James.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, he's come from Man United. He's gone to Leeds. He's going to have a great game. Probably won't even start now, I'm saying this, but he's going to walk into the team, start, and he's going to score, and Leeds are going to win 2-1.
Okay, I like that confidence. I mean, Leeds are without a win so far this season, and Liverpool are also without a defeat.
Yeah.
And they've only
wishful thinking.
They've also only failed to score in one of their last 22 league meetings with Leeds. So it's just a bit mad.
Stats are there to go against.
Stats are there, yeah. I mean, I do
be
love a
broken.
stat. I'm going to predict. I can't really go against Liverpool in this.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
All right, I'm thinking it'll be tight towards the end, but I think Liverpool will see it through with a 3-1 win early doors.
That's more of a realistic.
I think that's more realistic. Other games this weekend: Everton versus Burnley.
I think Everton win that 2-0. But Burnley will obviously cause some problems. You know how they play. But I just feel like Benitez has got off to a good start, a much needed start. Because if he didn't, them Everton fans would have been on him. You know, it's already hard for him to prove himself with his history,
Yeah, but
etc.
look, he's a good manager at the end of the day.
But he's a good manager.
He is
He's
a
a
good
very good manager. So he knows what he's doing, and he's got off to a good start. So I think Goodison Park, loud, on it, 2-0.
I'm going to go 2-0 as well. Watford versus Wolves, we've already done that earlier on in the day. Southampton versus West Ham.
Southampton, I think, could struggle a bit this year.
Do you think?
Yeah, I know that some people have said they might be one of the favourites to go down or be in and around that. I don't necessarily think they'll go down, but they've lost a lot of players. Kept hold of Ward-Prowse, fending him off from attention from Villa.
Yeah.
Lost Bertrand starting left back, Vestergaard starting centre
But
back.
they
Danny
always do
Ings
this.
up
They
front.
sell their best players and they
And then
manage
they do, yeah, true. The right back who come in from Chelsea, I think it is.
Yeah, Livramento.
He looks
Really good,
really good. The centre half they got, I can't remember his name, but he looks good. So they have, they do manage to do that, but at the moment they don't look quite there.
Yeah.
And West Ham do look good. Disappointing draw against
Brentford.
No, Palace.
My fixtures are all gone today.
I know, your head's gone.
I know. Hey, that's what happens when you have 2 weeks without football.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Okay.
International break does that, innit? But yeah, I think West Ham will have too much for them.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
in a form
What was
they're
your
in.
prediction?
2-1 West Ham.
2-1 West Ham. I'm going to go. I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham. I think the same as you. I think Southampton did look good against you guys when you played them a few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
they did.
But I think that West Ham are on the up. And of course they'll now have Kurt Zuma as well. So I'm excited to see, what they can bring. Even though I'm Spurs, I can appreciate West Ham and how they're playing.
Yeah, they're having an exciting season.
Absolutely. Okay, so that is everything for this week's Premier League preview. Of course, join us on Monday. We'll be joining Flex, actually, most likely with Pippa, as I'm off this week, of course, to discuss all the action from this weekend's games.